Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. Let's see if everything is running smoothly. Of course, I am back after 3 weeks and we start off with some technical issues. That is what happens every single time. But I am happy to be back. Thank you very much for everybody who stayed tuned throughout the period that I was away. Ross Spud has been taking these live streams every day, doing a brilliant job at it, letting me have a few weeks break, but we are now back and I am going to be talking you through the latest cryptocurrency news today, discussing what's going on in the markets and seeing what's happened for the price of Bitcoin. Now we are approaching that Christmas period as well, so we may see some changes in the markets over the next couple of weeks. We will be discussing all of this today, but let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin and see what's been going on here. Bitcoin is currently trading at $43,727, up 2% within the last week, and we've seen Ethereum at $2,300, up 1% within the last week as well. So it's nice to see the prices have held. Bruce says, welcome back. Rob says the sound is a bit funny this end. Let's see what's happening here. The sound looks like it's a bit funny on my end, to be honest. Let's see if we can fix this. In fact, it may be a bit better now. I don't know if it's capturing the audio twice. Let me know if this is a little bit better. Bruce says, welcome back. Thank you very much. I have been having a lovely time over in Australia, traveling around, having a nice time, having a bit of a break. It's been lovely. Hopefully, Bruce says there's a bit of an echo still. Let's see if we can fix this. Let's see how this works. Oh, to be honest, all of this is kind of confusing on here. Let's see if we can remove the second audio. Bruce says this is better. Okay, this is better. All fixed. Terry Toucan says, good day, Jess. Merry Christmas, you mad unit. Thank you very much for tuning in once again. We've got 13 viewers on today's stream. Let's see how many likes we've got today. We've got 5 likes on today's stream. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. I have been out around traveling Australia. I've been to Hong Kong, having lots of fun, but now I am back to work, back to business, looking to see what's been going on in the cryptocurrency markets while I've been gone. I have to say, I'm very glad there's not been some major Bitcoin ETF news while I was gone, because I did not want to miss out on that. We are still looking at January for that, but we'll be talking about that today, so make sure to stay tuned here. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Monkey Nut says, Merry Christmas, Jess. Good to see you back. Thank you very much. Rob C says, I hope you had a good time in Australia. Yeah, Australia was absolutely amazing. The weather was lovely, and we've come back to the UK to this storm, but it is what it is. Let's see what's going on here. Kiwi says, XTP and a couple of other things now halted on Tap Exchange due to their partner Bittrex being no more. Other exchanges trading still, and those who have XTP on the app can withdraw. Yeah, we did see Bittrex, unfortunately, stop trading. We've seen some changes with XTP. I've been discussing this with that Martini guy. He sees this as an opportunity. If XTP gets listed on other exchanges, we could see some excitement. I don't know how many of you remember from the previous bull market, but every single time a token was listed on an exchange, it would cause a mad pump, and it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. Every time Coinbase said we're about to list this token, the tokens would rally, and I would love to see that back in the next bull market because it was just an easy trade over and over again. Kiwi says, greetings from QLD Australia. So I went to Sydney, Australia, and I also went around Tasmania as well, which is something that not many people do, I don't think. And it was really interesting. Very, very lovely. Lots of gorgeous beaches. So very, very nice to see here. Let's see what's going on in the crypto news now, though. We need to move on from the holiday talk and see what's actually been going on while I was gone. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's see what's going on here. Terry Toucan says, if I knew I would have caught up for a beer when you was in Aussie land. I know it's so far away, but I didn't expect the jet lag to be as bad as it was. It was absolutely horrendous. It was so hard to get over. For the first week, I was walking around like a zombie, but I got over it. It's not much of a problem, is it? I'd like to have that problem again. Hopefully I'll be back soon. Let's see what's going on in the cryptocurrency news, though. That's why we're all here. Bitcoin has broken $44,000 as it lines up for a potential move to $50,000. Another run to new yearly highs after it blasted through $43,000. Let's pull up the price of Bitcoin here. You can see we still have this major level of resistance. This is the level of resistance I drew before I went away 3 weeks ago, and we are still holding that. It's at $44,200. holding pretty strongly right now. We have tested it a couple of times. We've not yet managed to break through it, so I'm still looking at that as a major level of resistance. If we move all of this stuff out the way so we can see what's going on here, we do have a level of support here as well, running to the upside there. An ascending triangle is what we can see here. This is a bullish chart pattern. I'm keeping a close eye on this. Hopefully some bullish things to come. We are all looking closely at the 10th of January for some excitement when it comes to spot Bitcoin ETFs. So with that date approaching, there's a lot of excitement within the markets. We've seen a couple of buying opportunities, a couple of dips within the last week, but right now people are holding on to this news that the spot Bitcoin ETFs could be around the corner and trying to accumulate and front run that event. We will be discussing about that in more detail in just a second, so make sure to stay tuned there. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. In terms of the RSI, you can see that we are within that neutral ground. It's not looking too bad considering we are up at close to the yearly high. On the 4-hour chart here, the RSI is at around 57. Pretty neutral there, and that's pretty positive thing to see. We also have the MACD up here. Let's pull that up here so we can see what's going on. Why is the tab so small? Let's just close it and open it again. Indicators, MACD. Let's see what's going on here. MACD is looking like it could be ticking into bearish momentum here. So it is looking to be at the baseline there. We are losing that bullish momentum. It could be crossing over into bearish momentum here. Maybe this is a sign that this resistance is holding for the near future and we are going to see a retest of that level of support. It would be pretty nice to see, in my opinion. $41,850. My eyes have been away from the charts for 3 weeks, so I'm looking for some more buying opportunities. I've been trying to, have some time off, get a clean head and start again with no biases, and that means I haven't been, unfortunately, buying as many dips as I would have been had I been in front of the computer. But I think this is a good time to reset because I think some excitement is going to come in 2024 and I want to be ready for it. I want to be fully charged and ready to go. Last year on the 1st of January at midnight, as soon as 2023 hit, Bitcoin just changed. It changed overnight. 2022 was bearish, 2023 was bullish, and I hope something like this happens again where the 1st of January hits and Bitcoin just decides to absolutely rock it. Fingers crossed we do see some excitement in the new year, and we are ready for it here on the channel. We've been staying up to date with what's going on in the latest cryptocurrency news. We've had Web3 Spud keeping you up to date on the crypto news for the last 3 weeks, and I'm now going to run you through what has been happening. So make sure to stay tuned, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. The next story we have here today is the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, has more to say on cryptocurrency. So not much has changed, really. We are seeing he has said there is a lot of non-compliance in cryptocurrency. In fact, let's see if you can hear this. Let's just try and turn the volume up here so you can hear what he's been saying.
There's a lot of non-compliance with the securities laws that are there to help give you the disclosure so you can make the investment decision, but also to protect you against fraud and manipulation. And there's been far too much fraud and bad actors in the crypto field. There's a lot of non-compliance, not only with the securities laws, but other laws around anti-money laundering and protecting the public. This is really the Wild West, and it's around the globe. I would say, again, this is a small part of our U.S. capital markets, but it can undermine confidence when so many people have been hurt, and all they can do is then stand in line at a bankruptcy court. And it's not just one actor, and it's not just, it's just a few bad actors over here. This is something that pervades a lot of this field globally. And it's hard for the good faith actors even to compete because there's so many challenges elsewhere.
So that's what Gary Gensler has been saying. Obviously a very negative view to have on the cryptocurrency space, but what else would we expect from Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC? The SEC is the regulatory body in the US who is trying to determine whether spot Bitcoin ETF should be launched or not. We know that he has a very negative view when it comes to cryptocurrency. We know that he didn't always have these opinions, and we have seen him potentially be a crypto bro back in the past, but now he is the chairman of the SEC. He has being seen to be very anti-cryptocurrency, trying to target the cryptocurrency space and try and kind of bury it away and pretend it doesn't exist, try and charge loads of companies, create loads of lawsuits and try and kind of kill the space, hasn't been successful. He is still holding this negative bias towards the cryptocurrency space, but who knows how much longer this will last. He's saying there's a lot of non-compliance in cryptocurrency. I can agree there is non-compliance in cryptocurrency. We are not a completely good faith industry. It's a massive industry now and there are bad actors in this space, but there is still good coming from this space. There's blockchain technology, a technology that can revolutionize many different industries and is not something that should be ignored. Yes, there are problems in this space, but there are problems in many different spaces, and this is a new industry, so what do we expect? We need to get the good actors, push them forward, and really show what this space can do. Let's take a look at the next article here and see what's going on in terms of the spot Bitcoin ETF. So first of all, we are hearing from the Ripple CEO. He has been slamming the SEC chairman Gary Gensler for stunning hypocrisy. So he claims there is widespread non-compliance in the cryptocurrency space. Gary Gensler has. We have just seen that video there. Now Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, which is the creator of XRP, has commented on this comment from Gary Gensler and has said the regulator emphasized the detrimental impact of these actions on individuals, often leading to bankruptcy without adequate resource. And Gary Gensler has just made these comments here. We've just seen this video, but Garlinghouse has accused Gensler of being hypocritical, pointing out that the SEC chief cozies up to the biggest fraud in recent memory. He also furthered that Gensler's actions have harmed consumers and eroded the SEC's integrity while maintaining close ties with Wall Street. Meanwhile, this isn't the first instance of Garlinghouse's critique of Gensler. We all know now XRP and Ripple have been in a lawsuit with the SEC for a very, very long time. Garlinghouse is a major push for cryptocurrency. Ripple is trying to set a precedent for the cryptocurrency space and show that we can have an industry that is complying with regulators. XRP is, Ripple are basically saying we are not a security. The SEC are saying you are a security, and Ripple are not just fighting for XRP to be pushed and regulated correctly in the US. XRP and Ripple are actually pushing for the entire space to have clarity when it comes to regulation and really trying to fight back against the SEC and the problems that crypto is facing within the US. So although Ripple are facing their own lawsuit and trying to fight that, they're actually fighting for the entire industry. And he's fighting back at things and comments that Gary Gensler is making to try and push and understand how we can move the industry forward and just fight on behalf of the cryptocurrency space. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat here. Web3 Spud is in the chat today. He's been taking these live streams for the last 3 weeks, so if you have enjoyed them, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. We've got 27 viewers on the live stream right now and only 16 likes, so please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. 29 viewers on the live stream right now. Let's see if we can get 30 viewers on the live stream at one point. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, share the stream with your friends, help us in the algorithm as much as possible. Give us a comment down below, comment in the live chat. Let's get the ball rolling today. Let's see what else is going on here in the markets. Hit the like button for Gary Gensler. Monkey Nut says, let's take a look at what is going on here. We're still on the chat of the SEC. Obviously, we don't like the SEC here. In fact, we want the SEC to turn around and say, you know what, we've made some mistakes here, but we need to move forwards. We're no longer going to stifle growth of cryptocurrency in the US. That would be absolutely perfect. And just to top it off, we'd like them to see them accept spot Bitcoin ETFs. Hopefully we do. We are looking at the 10th of January. Let's talk about that. Here's an article here. So the SEC are holding rare joint conference calls with spot Bitcoin ETF applications. So there are many different companies, including Blackrock, including Fidelity, including VanEck, who have applied for spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, we all know what these are by now. These are products that are pegged to the price of Bitcoin. They mean that traditional investors can invest in Bitcoin just like they can any other stock, essentially. It's an ETF, it's a stock that's pegged to Bitcoin. Now, BlackRock and other companies are trying to launch these products. It would mean a huge amount of accessibility into Bitcoin. It means that people that are too scared to research about cryptocurrency exchanges or self-custody can just invest in Bitcoin and get exposure to the cryptocurrency space without having to do a huge amount of research and during a bull market, that could mean a huge amount of adoption for cryptocurrency. Now, we've seen a lot of applications from big companies, but we are waiting to see if the regulators in the US accept or deny these applications. So these companies can't just say, do you know what, we need a spot Bitcoin ETF, here's one for the public. Instead, they need to go through the regulators. The regulators need to approve the application, and the regulators need to say, yes, you are allowed to launch this product. Now, unfortunately, the regulator at hand is the SEC. They are known to be firing bullets at the cryptocurrency space. They have fought against the cryptocurrency space for a number of years now. And we are waiting to see what they are going to do with these spot Bitcoin ETFs. They have actually previously rejected a spot Bitcoin ETF from Grayscale, and Grayscale opened a lawsuit with them, and the SEC lost that lawsuit. So the SEC don't have too much to stand on, in my opinion, don't have too many reasons to stand on and too many reasons to reject these ETFs. The last thing that the SEC want to do here is reject some spot Bitcoin ETFs, have more lawsuits on their hands, and lose those lawsuits, because they would really then their reputation is partially destroyed right now, and they don't need any more of that. They don't want any more lawsuits coming against them and to lose any of these lawsuits. So they need to be really careful here, and if they do reject these spot Bitcoin ETFs, they need to come up with a good reason as to why. Now, they rejected the previous application for a spot Bitcoin ETF from Grayscale, because they said that the underlying assets weren't good enough, even though we have futures Bitcoin ETF. So Grayscale argued that, and Grayscale did win that lawsuit. So we are seeing some interesting things going on right now. The SEC do have a deadline by which they need to determine whether they are going to accept or reject these spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have a semi-deadline in January, but the final deadline is in March. So in January, the SEC will need to either accept, reject, or delay their decision on these spot Bitcoin ETFs. But when it gets to March, they no longer have the choice to delay their decisions. They need to accept or reject. And that's when things get really interesting. A lot of big companies, a lot of big analysts are expecting them to accept these ETFs. The probability of an ETF launch is seen to be pretty high right now, but nothing is certain, especially when it comes to the SEC and cryptocurrency. Let's see what's going on here. The SEC is holding rare joint calls with the different companies here. So we have actually seen the SEC sit down with Blackrock and other major companies that have applied for spot Bitcoin ETFs and discussing with them how a spot Bitcoin ETF would work. We're talking about how the ETF would actually work in terms of its infrastructure. So we're looking at it being an in-kind model. This is what it says here. So it would allow for certain Bitcoin transactions among ETF industry participants. Recent updates to Blackrock's filing have already replaced mentions of an in-kind with cash, but leave room for an in-kind model pending approval. So this is basically the discussion of how the ETF will be pegged to Bitcoin, whether the BlackRock actually buy Bitcoin, and how they actually have the underlying assets and store the underlying assets and trade the underlying assets and make sure that it's always pegged to the dollar, and they always have the amount of Bitcoin they say they have. When it comes to a spot Bitcoin ETF, they don't just get a stock and say, yep, that's the price of Bitcoin. They need to hold the underlying Bitcoin. Now, a lot of the major companies that have applied for spot Bitcoin ETFs, like BlackRock, have named Coinbase as their custodian for their ETFs, which will mean Coinbase will hold the underlying Bitcoin, but BlackRock need to ensure that the amount of Bitcoin and shares they have on offer for the public is backed by the correct number of Bitcoin. And that is the conversation that is being had with the SEC right now. When you're seeing the in-kind model and other terms like that, that's the discussion of how they will be holding those underlying assets and buying and selling those underlying assets. James says in the chat here, have to go deliver a snowman. And he says, if they reject in January without very good reasons, they leave themselves open to lawsuits. And this is what we're seeing here. So they've already lost a lawsuit against Grayscale when they falsely rejected Grayscale's application. So they need to come up with a brand new reason as to why Bitcoin ETFs should not be offered. And that is a very difficult task. I really find it difficult to see where they can come up with a reason that will withstand all of these applications. Now, they've not just got one application here, like they did when they rejected Grayscale's spot Bitcoin ETF. They have like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. It's probably grown since I went away. But they've got a huge amount of applications here. And that means if they reject all of these applications for a reason that isn't strong, they could be facing a huge amount of lawsuits. And that is not something the SEC can withstand. So the chances are here, there's a lot of expectation here that the the SEC will have to reject these ETFs. We are looking at rumors that they could be accepting them all at the same time, simultaneous acceptance. I think that is the best way to go forward with this, because there will be a first mover advantage when it comes to spot Bitcoin ETFs, but we will have to see. The other side of the argument is that we're seeing a huge amount of excitement around spot Bitcoin ETFs, and Bitcoin likes to take the path of most pain. The markets like to take the path of most pain. The path of most pain here is we do see some changes in the markets here. A lot of people are expecting spot Bitcoin ETF acceptance, and that is making a few people wary. But I think this is a pretty knowledgeable, I think we are all positive on this because we know all the facts. I am still positive on the spot Bitcoin ETF acceptance. I am still looking at this happening. I understand why people are being a bit wary because of the amount of bullish news in the markets right now. But I think if we look at the facts, there aren't any, the reason for a rejection, I just find it really hard to see the SEC put themselves in a position where they could be facing all of those lawsuits. They need to find a really strong reason to reject these applications, and I just can't see it. But we never know with the SEC. It's an interesting place in cryptocurrency. We will have to stay tuned. To stay tuned on what happens with it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We have 25 people viewing today's stream, but only 19 likes today, so please make sure to like today's stream, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. James says, if they reject in January without very good reasons, they leave themselves open to lawsuits. They already have Bitcoin at a dollar cost average of $20,000. They will sell that to ETF buyers at $200,000. Well, that is what we are all hoping for. A lot of people in crypto are anticipating that, yes, we are buying now and we'll be selling to the institutions later. And maybe we're in dreamland, but it sounds pretty good to me. That is the difficulty here. It just sounds really good. I'm struggling to see any other option here. Let's see what else is going on in terms of ETFs. What I should have done is order all of my news articles in the correct order before we started today's stream, but that is not what we did. Here's another article here. Arthur Hayes sees new arbitrage opportunities in the SEC's crypto ETF concerns. Now, we are talking about the different models when it comes to ETFs. I've just been discussing the in-kind model. We are looking at the cash creation model and different ways in which the Bitcoin ETF creators like Blackrock and Fidelity will manage their cryptocurrency, ensure that they have enough Bitcoin, and manage the buying and selling of Bitcoin. So this is the different kind of models that we're looking at. This is the conversations that the SEC is having with institutions, trying to work out how the companies will own the Bitcoin, will buy the Bitcoin, will sell the Bitcoin. We are looking here at this in a little bit more detail. So let's talk about this. Arthur Hayes, the co-founder and former CEO of BitMEX, has highlighted the potential juicy arbitrage opportunities that would emerge for investors who trade on both American and non-American crypto exchanges due to the SEC's insistence that applications handle funds in a specific way. So, usually traditional ETFs facilitate in-kind transactions, permitting market makers to swap the underlying asset for the ETF shares directly. In contrast, the cash create model necessitates issuers to exchange cash for the ETF shares in each transaction. So what this means is an in-kind model ETF would have the Bitcoin and it would have the Bitcoin ETF stock, and you could swap from one to the other pretty easily. Market makers are the people that buy and sell constantly, so they'd be able to change Bitcoin into the ETF stock and change the ETF stock into Bitcoin. But what a cash create model is it would mean you have to go from the ETF stock to cash to Bitcoin to the cash to the ETF stock again, and it adds that extra step there. And Arthur Hayes, the CEO and co-founder of BitMEX, is saying this setup could lead to potential misuse of authority by the ETFs, as there is the likelihood of politically connected brokers and exchanges being favored in the procurement of Bitcoin for the fund due to the prevailing Made in America political sentiment. Now, what we're saying here is he has said cash is more complicated, but it hands big power to the fund. The fund trading desk will be bigly powered to direct what should be large trading flows of BTC. Given the Made in America political, you can bet only politically connected brokers and exchanges will be used as counterparties to buy and BTC for the fund. So reports revealed that the financial regulator prefers a cash-based system to prevent fraud and restrict broker-dealers like Robinhood and Fidelity from directly trading spot Bitcoin. Now, this is really interesting here. Now, why would the SEC be fighting for this? Why would they want you to use cash in between the transaction? And I think it really comes down to the concerns here with the dollar. What we're seeing here is, if you can change Bitcoin into the ETF and back, you don't need to use any fiat for that transaction. But if you include cash in that kind of transaction, you're giving that kind of flow when it comes to fiat. And that the US are trying to hold the strength of the dollar as much as they can. All of the fiat currencies are at threat when it comes to Bitcoin here. So looking at ways in which we can use the dollar and continue to give that strength is really important when it comes to crypto. Let's see what's going here. Enso Mining says 69,000 Bitcoin was seized from Silk Road, will be sold over the counter. Kiwi says good night, Jess, and all in the room. Bikeman says let's welcome Jess back by all hitting the like button. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We are on 21 likes for today's stream. Let's try and get to 35 likes by the time we finish today's stream. We've got a load more news to discuss today, so make sure to stay tuned here. We'll move on from the spot Bitcoin ETFs now. I think I'm freshly back and I'm ready to talk about them, but I know that we've all been speaking about them for a very long time now. We all know what's going on with the spot Bitcoin ETFs. I think the SEC having discussions about the models behind these ETFs is a really positive thing, and could be a sign that we are going to see some more positive news and maybe see the acceptance of these ETFs in the near future, but we will have to stay tuned on that. Let's see what's going on in the next article here. We are talking about El Salvador and Argentina here. So both have become Bitcoin pro in a sense. We all know that El Salvador made Bitcoin a legal tender just maybe a year ago, over a year ago now, 18 months ago perhaps, and we are now seeing it is enticing Bitcoin investors with the offer of citizenship. So they've created a new law over in El Salvador, and this will provide citizenship to those who donate Bitcoin. So members of the country's legislature passed the law in a vote on the 20th of December, so 2 days ago. The law is expected to take effect in a few days. Now, it expedites the citizenship process for foreign individuals who contribute significantly in Bitcoin to El Salvador's social and economic development programs. The text of the law reportedly states that the various government projects that qualify for donation are of vital interest. It also appeals to altruistic foreigners who are interested in supporting the country's development. So that's basically saying you contribute to us in Bitcoin in any way, you can have citizenship here. So that's a really positive thing to come out of El Salvador, in my opinion. Let's take a look at what else is going on in Argentina. So we are seeing some shifts in Argentina. We did see a change in president just a couple of weeks ago now, probably about a month ago now, and we do know the new president is pro-Bitcoin, and Argentina have now legalized Bitcoin for contract settlements there. So positive things coming from Argentina. They are looking to try and dollarize their economy after basically people ripping up their currency because there was such bad inflation in the area. I believe we saw 140% inflation in 1 month in Argentina. Absolute chaos. So the new president is looking to dollarize the economy and is looking to be more pro-Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what's going on here in the chat. Everything is energy says, go girl. Oka says, good morning, welcome back. Thank you very much for having me back. Christian says, imagine they fuck their own buying up a large supply. Anyone think that's possible? They can force others to use the new shiny one via them for even more control. I don't think that will be the case. I think Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on in the next article here. I am back after 3 weeks away, so thank you very much for tuning in once again. I hope you all enjoyed Web3 Spud taking on these live streams. He did take the live streams on for 3 weeks, which I very much appreciate. I had a well-deserved break, if I do say so myself. I went to Australia and I had a lovely time, but I am now back. We will be doing these live streams every single weekday. Web3 Spud will be here on the channel as well, though. He will not disappear. He will be doing some interviews with different people here on the channel, so make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button to see more of the two of us on the channel here. We have 90 views on today's stream and 24 likes. That's a pretty good conversion, but let's try and make it even better. Let's try and get to 35 likes before we finish today's stream. Let's see what else is going on. In the cryptocurrency news, so the Coinbase CEO has stated anti-crypto stance is a really bad political strategy. Brian Armstrong continues to fight for cryptocurrency in the US. As I just said earlier in today's stream, we've seen Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse really fighting for cryptocurrency, and although he's fighting his own battles when it comes to XRP and Ripple, he's really pushing for the entire industry, and we're seeing the same from Brian Armstrong. Brian Armstrong is the CEO of Coinbase, and yes, he's pushing for Coinbase to become one of the biggest exchanges in the world, but he's also pushing for the entire cryptocurrency industry, really trying to fight the space forwards. And he is saying here, look, anti-cryptocurrency stance is a really bad political strategy. Cryptocurrency is a new industry, it's pushing forwards, it is growing massively, and being anti-cryptocurrency is just not going to work. It's going to push you to the back of the pile. We all know that there is a first mover advantage in anything in life, and we know that pushing cryptocurrency and stifling growth of cryptocurrency is just going to push you back. The West are really handling this poorly, I believe, and the East are accepting cryptocurrency. In fact, I've just seen a news article before I came on today's stream that says we already knew that Hong Kong were pro-cryptocurrency, and we have just seen just a minute ago, let's see where I can pull this up, Hong Kong have said that it's ready to accept spot crypto ETF applications. We've also seen Hong Kong say, look, banks, we want you to work with cryptocurrency exchanges. The East is really pushing for the adoption of cryptocurrency and will really be able to push ahead if the West continue to generally, and this is obviously a generalization, if the West continue to try and stifle growth. And that is a really big problem. We've all seen and said many, many times the East probably will push the next bull market, and that is just seems to be how it is going to be playing out, unfortunately. When it comes to Coinbase and the problems within the US, we have seen Coinbase try and get regulated and try and work with regulators to continue to be a US-based cryptocurrency exchange, but the regulators have not made that easy. They have cooperated with Coinbase to a degree, but then decided to create a lawsuit against the company. So one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world has tried incredibly hard to be a US-based company, and the US have just said, do you know what? We're creating a lawsuit for you. Just made it so difficult and pushing more and more companies offshore, and that is just not the way to go with a new industry that is growing at the rate that cryptocurrency is, in my opinion. And I think stifling growth of the industry is just going to create more problems later down the line. But maybe, potentially, if we do see these spot Bitcoin ETF applications, we will see a huge flip there. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe the acceptance of a spot Bitcoin ETF will change the game when it comes to the US and the UK and how we are dealing with cryptocurrency so far. Maybe we're all just on hold until that acceptance occurs, if it occurs, or when it occurs, we should say. But let's take a look at what else is going on in the news here today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. We've just hit 100 views on today's stream, so make sure to hit the like, subscribe, bell notification button, comment down below, help us in the algorithm as much as possible, and help us grow the channel as big as possible. We want to hit 100,000 subscribers, and we need your help to do that. Help and engage in the channel to help us in the algorithm. Let's see what's going on in the next article here. So Solana edges out XRP from the number 5 spot as traders eye $100. So the near conclusion of FTX's bankruptcy and meme coins and Sam Bankman-Fried's court case have propelled Solana's price to new all-time highs. Well, not new all-time highs, but to highs. So Solana was a big project in the last bull market. It was a project that I heavily invested in the last bull market and managed to profit from. But since then, it has not had a brilliant bear market. FTX, obviously the cryptocurrency exchange that fell back in November 2022, held a huge amount of Solana tokens, and that created a huge amount of fear in the industry. Now, we are seeing FTX's bankruptcy, they're trying to resolve that, and what happens is if they've got a huge amount of Solana, there's a huge amount of fear that if they dump all of that Solana into the markets, the price will absolutely crash to the downside. But when we're seeing the conclusion of the bankruptcy, we're seeing that these kind of fears come to the end. That's a positive thing for the token. As you can see here, we're seeing FTX's bankruptcy coming to a conclusion almost. We're seeing Sam Bankman-Fried, the CEO's court case, kind of conclude, and we're seeing meme coins pop off on the Solana network as well, which is creating excitement on the network and therefore causing the price to increase. So let's take a look at the price of Solana quickly on the CryptoSavingExpert website. Make sure if you are looking at the price of any tokens to use CryptoSavingExpert.com. We are the best one out there. You can see we are currently trading at $93.83. That is insane. Last time I checked, when I left for my holidays, it was below $60. $93. In fact, it's touched $100. Now, Solana was up at $260 in the last bull market. Will it reach those levels again? Well, a lot of people are feeling very, very confident for the price of Solana. I personally am not a Solana holder. Maybe I will be in the future, but I do doubt that, to be honest. It has seen a nice rally to the upside. When you take a look at the bottom for Solana in this bear market, and you look at the price now, those who invested during that bear market had a brilliant opportunity. There are other tokens that I believe could have similar opportunities in the future, and that's why I'm a bit hesitant to move into that now. I did stay away from Solana. It was a brilliant one in the last bull market, but there were too many factors for me that pushed me away. But congratulations to those that did invest in Solana in the bear market. You have been, it's paid off massively. Let's take a look at the next article here and see what else is going on. PancakeSwap community proposes cutting total supply of the token. So PancakeSwap is a decentralized exchange. The maximum supply is looking to be reduced from 750 million tokens to 450 million tokens. Now, this is something that is positive for investors. If you cut the supply in terms of supply and demand, it artificially increases the value of the token, essentially. So the rationale behind the proposal here is certainty for the community on the future cake token supply, accelerate the journey to ultrasound cake, ensure sufficient flexibility for growth. At the time of writing, cake was trading at $2.69, up 22% in the last 24 hours. That is a massive rally there. But when you're looking to cut the supply of a token by such a significant amount, I'm not surprised. That is a massive, massive rally there, but it's definitely worth it. And these are the kind of news stories which show that you should stay up to date with what's going on in crypto, because seeing this kind of news, seeing that a token is looking to reduce its supply from 750 million to 450 million tokens, is like, that's so bullish. And if you stay up to date with what's going on in the markets, and you see that article on CryptoSavingExpert, and you look at that and you can clearly see it's bullish, you can get in on those gains as well. Like 22% increase in 24 hours is absolutely huge. But that's, to me, a pretty obvious play. And we see these kind of plays over and over again in the cryptocurrency space. So staying up to date with what's going on in the markets, staying up to date with the news, being in our CSE Plus Discord are all things that are going to help you stay up to date with what's happening and see these kinds of opportunities. We've got a huge amount of traders in the CryptoSavingExpert Plus Discord that are trading constantly, trading full time, and just sharing their alpha in the group chat there, discussing what's happening in the markets and just giving differing opinions. And I think when I first came into cryptocurrency, I realized that one of the most important things to stay up to date with the markets is to get into communities, because when you're getting into cryptocurrency, yes, you may have a couple of friends that are researching alongside you, but you really will be able to stay up to date with the markets so much more if you're in communities with people sharing their knowledge continuously. Being a solo trader is so much more difficult. There are so many aspects to cryptocurrency. You've got meme coins, you've got your altcoins, you've got your news. There are so many aspects to keep up to date on, and if you are in part of a community like the CSE Plus Discord, it really just gives you that edge and gives you that foot forwards that you cannot get on your own. Obviously, you need to do your own research when things come up, but just having people to point out different things that are happening in the markets gives you that leg up and gives you that push forwards, and that is what you need in this space, because being in this space, one of the most profitable traits to have is to just be able to action things quickly. So let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Before I forget, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. We had a target of 35 likes for today's stream, and we are currently on 29, so we are very, very close. Please help us hit that goal. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, comment on today's stream, share it with your friends, and help us get into the algorithm and push us to 100,000 subscribers here. Let's see what else is going on here in the news. The US court upholds forfeiture of Silk Road Bitcoin. So somebody is discussing this in the chat earlier today. The US appeals court has upheld the forfeiture of over 69,000 bitcoins by the US government. So the US appeals court has finalized the legal process to officially seize 69,370 bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies from the now defunct dark web marketplace Silk Road. In the filing dated the 20th of December, the US District Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit upheld upheld the transfer of the Bitcoins into federal court control, confirming the government's ownership claim over the digital assets associated with Silk Road's illegal activities. The seized assets also include Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin SV, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, the decision follows a series of legal actions. What we could see here is the sale of these Bitcoins. I imagine it will be over the counter and nothing to be too concerned about. Christian says in the chat, CSE Plus is where it's at. If you want to get onto the CSE Plus Discord, make sure to go to CryptoSavingExpert.com, press that big button there, join CSE Plus, and you will be able to get access to it all. And you've got a nice video there from me, which discusses the benefits of being a CSE Plus member. Let's take a look at what else is going on here in the live chat. We've got 4 more articles today, and then we will analyze the price of Bitcoin there. A trader has managed to turn 1.5 Solana into $1.55 million in just 16 days. Now, let's look at this closer. They've changed $92 into $1.55 million in just over 2 weeks. On Thursday, Look On Chain posted a thread detailing how a trader received 1.5 Solana, valued at $92 at the time, to $1.55 million. Now, we have discussed the different trades that they made in this article, so I will drop the link to this article in the live chat for today's stream. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already. That is a brilliant trader there. Hopefully, we will see more from this trader, and we will be looking at this. Some people, actually, this is a really good strategy as well. Take a look at this, get their address, and see what moves they make in the future. See if their moves are something that you want to be following. Maybe this is luck. Maybe this is somebody that knows exactly what they are doing. We don't know, but this is the beauty of having transparency on the blockchain. Let's take a look at the next article here. A wallet drainer has stolen $58 million via Google and Twitter ads. So a wallet drainer has been linked to phishing scams posted on Google and Twitter ads. Just be incredibly careful when it comes to adverts, especially, or never click through on an advert. Make sure to check the URL. Practice proper risk management. Make sure you know how to stay safe online. We have a free cryptocurrency course on the Crypto Saving Expert website. You do not need to be a member of CSE Plus to access this course. If you go to courses and you go to Crypto 101, which is at the bottom here, we have a course here that's only 20 minutes long, and it's about online safety, and it teaches you how to stay safe online. Definitely something to do. It's completely free. You just need to sign up for free and take a look at that course, and that will help you stay safe online, because this is so important and something that a lot of people unfortunately get caught up on. I think a lot of people think, I know how to stay safe online. It's really not that difficult. I'm not going to answer the phone to a scammer and give them my card details, but you do need to be careful, especially in cryptocurrency, because we are practicing self-custody. We are in control of our own funds, and one bad click can mean you can lose everything. So you need to be incredibly careful and educate yourself on how to stay safe online. And that is why we created that course and put it up there for free, so you can get access to it and help keep your cryptocurrency secure. Because as a company, we want to be pushing the safe cryptocurrency, we want to be pushing cryptocurrency in a safe way and help the industry move forwards. And if you do enjoy the content, you can check out Crypto Saving Expert Plus as well. Let's take a look at the next article here. Law enforcement professionals need crypto training. So a recent study has found that 99% of law enforcement professionals think there needs to be more education surrounding cryptocurrency. I completely agree. I mean, I'd love to see education about cryptocurrency in all fields, not just in law enforcement. A lot of people just kind of bury their head in the sand because they don't understand the industry. And that is something that I did for a long time as well before I got into this space, so I completely understand it. But that's why we created Crypto Saving Expert, to try and help people get access to the cryptocurrency space, get education about the cryptocurrency space, and help people learn and push the industry forwards. We've got one last article here today before we move on to the price of Bitcoin, where we analyze it and see what's going on there. We've got 31 viewers on today's streams and 31 likes, so make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button if you have not already. We are trying to get to 35 likes on today's stream. This is my first stream back in 3 weeks, because I have been away traveling around Australia and seeing a little bit of Hong Kong as well. So this is my first day back. Let's have a good one. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, share the stream with your friends, comment down below, interact with the stream as much as possible, and help us get YouTube to push the stream to more people. Another article here. Arthur Hayes dumped his Solana bag and eyes a $5,000 Ethereum. So Arthur Hayes has stated on Twitter that he had purchased Solana. Let's take a look at this first of all. I clicked the wrong link there. First of all, we've got another article here, which was published 2 days ago, which states Arthur Hayes buys Solana in mixed announcement, but he stated that he had something embarrassing to admit, and that Solana was just a meme. Solana was traded around $40 at the time of Hayes' X post, meaning he was approximately 2.5x up on his investment after the coin rallied to $100 in the early hours of Friday morning, and now he has taken to selling his Solana. Fam, I have a confession to make, he began, before stating that while meditating, he came to the realization that he should dump that Sam coin. He said he sold his Sol bag and bought more ETH before predicting a $5,000 price tag for the coin. So he switched alliance here. He swapped from Solana after making a 2.5x on his investment to Ethereum. Pretty nice trade in my opinion. As I said, I'm not a Solana investor, super bullish on Ethereum. Getting a 2.5x and moving on is very, very nice to see. Monkey Nut says, if we hit 35 likes, Jess will promise to never go on holiday again. I can't promise that. That was my first holiday in a year. So it was very much needed, but I am glad to be back. I'm sure we do have, I'm sure I won't be going away for a very long time now. It was a nice 3 weeks off, but I can't be taking 3 weeks off in a bull market, so I am back for good now. Obviously, you had Web3 Spud taking on the streams as well, and he was doing a great job of that, and he will be taking some of the live streams in the future as well. You're not just going to see him for 3 weeks and then have him drop off the face of the earth. He will be doing some interviews with different people in the cryptocurrency space on this channel as well, but I will be here every single day talking about what's going on in the markets again. It was nice to have a break, but I am happy to be back. Let's take a look at what's going on with the price of Bitcoin here. We are in an ascending triangle, which is a bullish price chart pattern for Bitcoin. On the 4-hour chart, you can see we are trading at $43,775. We have a level of resistance at $44,200 there. We do have a level of support here on the bigger time frames. If we go into the smaller time frames, we have an even closer level of support here. If we pull this out, you can see that we do have, in fact, let's get this correct. I would draw that all across there, and we can pull this back to those levels there as well. So I'm looking at a level of support that we are currently testing. Now this is really important. This is a level that I want to be keeping a close eye on. That's at $43,620. So let's keep an eye on that. But that's all we really have time for today. I will be back here. It is Friday, so I won't be back here until Monday morning is Christmas Day. Do we want a Christmas Day live stream, or do we not want a Christmas Day live stream? I will be back here on Tuesday, on Boxing Day, where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news. I predict that over the weekend, we are going to see a bit of a lull when it comes to trading volumes there. There are two case studies for that. One will be that the trading volumes drop off, which means cryptocurrency and Bitcoin can have a small move because the trading volumes are lower, so there's less money is required to push the price, or we will just see sideways action because trading volumes are low, nobody's paying attention, we're all celebrating the holidays. So they're the two scenarios there, but we will stay tuned on that. Merry Christmas to everybody. Monkey Nuts just reminded me, I almost forgot. I hope everybody has a lovely weekend, a lovely Christmas. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you so much for all of the support throughout the year. We will be back between Christmas and New Year. We'll be back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We won't miss a beat. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. I hope you have enjoyed today's live stream, and we will be back on Tuesday with another stream. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely Christmas, and I will see you all